Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Marie and today I have 5 different DIY Christmas decor ideas that are inspired by the high-end Pottery Barn looks. But the best part is all of the supplies I used were from the Dollar Tree, so these were all very affordable. Thank you so much for being here and let's get started. The first DIY we're making today is a terracotta snowman, just like the one at Pottery Barn. To begin, I took 2 ornaments. I made sure that one of them was smaller than the other, and then I cut a hole in the top and the bottom of my biggest ornament. To be able to get my scissors through, I melted a small hole with my hot glue gun through the ornament, and then I was able to just start cutting from there. You'll need 1 hole at the top to place the next ornament in, and 1 hole at the bottom so that your snowman will sit flat and not fall over. After I finished the holes, I took my smaller ornament and glued it on top. Then I took some air dry clay and I formed a hat for the snowman. Don't forget to put a little groove on the bottom of the hat so it will rest easy on the top of the ball ornament. I also made a nose out of the clay, but later took it off and just used hot glue because the nose didn't look quite right to me. Next, I took my hot glue gun and I glued on some bumps for the eyes, the mouth, the buttons down the front, and later on the nose. Once the hat was dry, I glued it on with some E6000. I tried hot glue at first, but the hat just fell right off, so I would stick with the E6000 glue. It's also helpful to glue some leftover bits of clay or some pebbles to the inside of the base of the snowman so he doesn't topple over, because he's pretty top heavy once his hat gets on. Then I used a mixture of half beige paint, half baking soda, and painted that all over the entire snowman to give it a nice base layer of a textured terracotta look. After that was fully dry, I took some plain white acrylic paint and dry brushed it over top of all of that textured beige paint to give it a whitewashed look, just like the one at Pottery Barn. Next, I made an aged bell. For this project, I used a tumbler and a small ramekin from the kitchen section at Dollar Tree. To begin, I took some sandpaper and just scuffed up the edges so that paint would stick to these better. I took some E6000 glue and glued the small ramekin to the top of the big cup. After that dried, I painted the entire thing with some black acrylic paint. I also cut the end off of a toilet paper roll and painted it black as well for the top ring of my bell. I let that dry and then dabbed on some antique gold rub and buff. I made sure to leave some of the black bits showing through for that aged look. When I put on the black acrylic paint, I dabbed it on so the gold rub and buff would pick up on some of that texture. I glued on the top ring and tied on a piece of thick rope that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and this project was complete. Next, I made a twine wrapped tree. First, you'll need a thin piece of cardboard or a piece of cardstock and roll it into a cone shape and trim off the bottom so it will stand up. We're using this as our tree form. Next, you'll need some plastic wrap and you just wrap up the whole thing. use this twine that I picked up at the Dollar Tree and some Mod Podge. I'm using my large bucket of Mod Podge, but you can also get smaller bottles at the Dollar Tree. I let the twine sit in the Mod Podge and then start wrapping it onto my tree form. I am squeezing off some of the Mod Podge as I put it on the tree form just so I don't get too much pooling on there. Once I got the base of my tree started with the twine, I started going up and down in a crisscross pattern just to get a good solid base so my top layer would have something to hold on to. After I finished crisscrossing, I went back down to the bottom and then just started wrapping it all the way up until the top. Once that dried, I popped out my tree form and the plastic wrap, and I glued on some little wooden beads to look like ornaments. I placed a small string light from the Dollar Tree inside of this tree so it had a nice glowing effect, and that was it. A beautiful Christmas tree in earthy tones. Next is an oversized ornament that you could use in your front porch decor. For this one, you'll need 2 large bowls from the Dollar Tree as well as some more of that thick rope. I glued both of my bowls together using some E6000 glue and then took it outside and spray painted it black. If you wanted to use acrylic paint, you could just scuff it up first with some sandpaper, but I chose spray paint so that it would be more durable outdoors. Next, I took this old thrifted jar lid and glued the 2 pieces together. I doubled up my thick rope to make a ring to place on top of this jar lid, and then used one more single layer of the rope to make a loop so that it would look as if I had an ornament hanger to put on top of the ornament. And then I glued the cap right to the top of my ornament. This makes a beautiful accent piece to my front porch decor. And lastly, I made a Christmas tree candle to mimic some of the ones that you may have seen in store. I used a plain candlestick from the Dollar Tree and then got a dish of very hot water and let my candlestick soak in the water to soften the wax a bit. I also found it helpful to let my knife sit in the hot water as well so that it would slide through the wax a little easier. After a couple minutes of soaking, I took it out of the water and started angling small slices into the side of the candle and gently lifting it up ever so slightly to create that tree branch look. I kept dipping my candle back in the water after every couple slices just to make sure it stayed nice and soft. And that was all there was to this project. It was a simple and fun one to make. And there you have it, 5 super easy and affordable Christmas decor projects. I hope you can give some of these a try and let me know which one was your favorite in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and stick around for more DIYs and home decor. Hope you're all having a beautiful holiday season and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!